Should Kevin O'Leary also be charged for FTX fraud? Cryptocurrency has revolutionized transactions in the virtual world since its introduction in 2008. It allows for peer-to-peer electronic cash systems that do not rely on a central authority or intermediary, consequently paving the way for faster, cheaper, and more secure transactions and greater financial inclusion for individuals and businesses that may not have access to traditional banking systems. However, it is not entirely foolproof. Fraud in cryptocurrency is a growing concern as the industry is relatively new and lacks the regulations and oversight of more traditional markets. The anonymity of cryptocurrency transactions also makes it a popular choice for those engaging in illegal activities. Today's video explores one such fraud in cryptocurrency, which led to netizens raising serious concerns over the authenticity of crypto transactions. History of technology knows it as the FTX fraud. This case raised questions not only on the authenticity of cryptocurrency, but the prestige of many big shots. One of them is Kevin O'Leary, a renowned Canadian businessman, entrepreneur, and television personality, also known as Mr. Wonderful. At one time, it was massively advocated that O'Leary must also be charged for FA fraud. This video aims to bring forward the details of the FTX fraud and O'Leary's involvement for the audience to judge Mr. Wonderful's fate regarding this case. To make a fair assumption, watch the video till the end. So, let's begin. Before we move further with the video, a brief introduction of O'Leary would prove beneficial. So, who is Kevin O'Leary? Kevin O'Leary is a famous Canadian businessman, author, and television personality. He is best known as a co-host on the Canadian television show Dragon's Den and its American counterpart Shark Tank. O'Leary is also the chairman of O'Shares FFs and a founding investor in the software company Softkey. He is known for his often confrontational and controversial on-air personality. The next question is, what is FTX? FTX trades Bitcoin derivatives. It offers trading in a variety of contracts, such as futures, options, and leveraged tokens. Sam Bankman-Fried and Gary Wang established it in 2019. Both of them have backgrounds in quantitative trading. FTX is known for its high trading volumes and advanced trading features, and has quickly become popular among professional traders and institutional investors. It's based in Singapore, but it's also operating in the US. How did O'Leary happen to invest in FTX? The skepticism. You might be amazed to know that O'Leary was always very apprehensive about the cryptocurrency space. Actually, at one point in time, he actually called it garbage. He initially referred to Bitcoin as a digital game and a useless currency in May 2019. He used the following example to demonstrate his point. Assume you wish to buy a piece of real estate in Switzerland for $10 million. They want assurances that the value will be returned to us money. You must, in some way, mitigate the risk of Bitcoin. That is, it is not a legitimate currency. This indicates that the receiver is unwilling to accept risk of volatility. It has no value. The investment. To everyone's surprise, on May 2021, O'Leary told Pomp podcast host Anthony Pompliano that he had made a 3-to-5 allocation to Bitcoin and had become a strategic investor in the Vancouver-based decentralized finance platform DeFi Ventures. The company then renamed itself OneDeFi Technologies in reference to O'Leary's nickname, Mr. Wonderful. From a hater to spokesperson and ambassador of FTX. Not only did O'Leary invest in cryptocurrency, he also became a spokesperson and ambassador of FTX. Well, of course, it was not for nothing. As part of his pay for this job, he agreed to accept an ownership position in the parent firms of FTX, USA in August 2021. Well, seemed like an amazing idea at that time. Note that he was also paid $15 million to be a spokesperson of FTX. However, seemed like all his apprehensions were bound to transform into a horrible reality. Background of the FTX fraud. FTX Exchange was a leading centralized cryptocurrency exchange, the world's third largest, in July 2021, specializing in derivatives and leveraged products. Founded in 2018 by former Jane Street Capital International Exchange, traded funds, ETFs, trader ATFs, Tam Bankman-Fried. The company offered various trading products, including derivatives, options, volatility products, and leveraged tokens. It also provided spot markets in over 300 cryptocurrency trading pairs. FTX trading altered 101 companies connected to it, filed papers to ask for protection from their creditors under a specific type of US law called Chapter 11 on November 11 and 14, 2022, respectively. This was filed in a court called the United States Bankruptcy Court for the District of Delaware. It meant that they were facing financial difficulties and they needed to reorganize their debts in order to continue operating. Bankruptcy. Bankman-Fried revealed that FTX had run out of enough assets in reserve to fulfill customer demands. On November 11, 2022, the company filed for bankruptcy due to a rise in customer withdrawal earlier in the same month. The charges. It is assumed that FTX went bankrupt as a result of CEO Sam Bankman-Fried secretly using client monies to make speculative plays that did not pay off. O'Leary, along with other tax representatives, was sued in a class. The prosecution allegedly held Bankman-Fried guilty of participating in massive fraud, beginning with establishing his cryptocurrency exchange FTX in 2019. Federal officials state that he used his customers' deposits to pay for his political activities, buy extravagant real estate, and invest in other firms. On QVC, O'Leary stated that he was paid $15 million for the spokesman role. He also stated that he lost $9.7 million in digital assets, the remainder in different fees and taxes, and $1 million in stock after the company went bankrupt. O'Leary's stance that led him to trouble. Despite all the loss that O'Leary had to bear as a result of the insolvency of FTX, he refused to label the company's CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried, as fraudulent, stirring controversy about his role in the fraud. He refuses to provide any negative statement due to the absence of evidence. He has been generous enough to refuse any compensation or payback. He stated that as big shots, venture investors should not be compensated until other people get their money back. Wow! Is it an act of generosity or is it dusting off the shame of advocating for a fraudulent company for a long time? Mr. Wonderful also claimed he stated in an interview that many big institutions displayed interest in FTX on US stock. They would ask him ways to strike some deals, which he would always deny as he was the official spokesperson. During testimony before Congress, he kept talking about cryptocurrency's usefulness. He concluded his testimony by saying that he strongly advocates in-depth inquiry into FTX's downfall, but, according to him, this must not lead to people underestimating cryptocurrency's potential. Another controversy that led to suspicion of his involvement in one of the biggest frauds in history is that he promoted a favorable narrative about FTX's demise, which was, bizarrely, a reciprocation of Sam Bankman-Fried's hypothesis. Is Binance the culprit here? O'Leary blamed Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao for placing FTX out of business during an FTX hearing. He allegedly blamed Binance for purposely outing its rival to create its own monopoly in the crypto market. According to Fried and O'Leary, FTX declared bankruptcy when the value of its token FT crashed after Zhao stated that his firm had sold all of its FT holdings. Zhao later backed out of plans to acquire for FT. Zhao's offloading of FT and purchase reversal may have hastened FTX's demise, but there is little evidence to support O'Leary and Bankman claim Fried's that FTX may have escaped undamaged, given the accumulating charges that FTX engaged in various dubious business practices. O'Leary not only defends Bankman-Fried and blames Zhao for his company's collapse, but he is also full of praise for him. He believes that Bankman is one of a kind and has expressed full faith in him by agreeing to consider investing in a venture that Bankman will initiate in the future. Suspicious much? Now, the question is, why is O'Leary continuously defending Fried despite expressing concern about the liquidation of all his money in FTX? Why is he openly blaming Bitcoin's CEO for Sam Fried's sake? Does he have another lawsuit wish and is ready to risk the remaining fortune for a bankrupt entrepreneur? There is definitely something that is hiding behind the veil. If O'Leary has secretly earned a massive fortune, compensating all his apparent losses, which is quite a possibility, then O'Leary must also be charged for this fraud. As a spokesperson, it was his responsibility to ensure that people's hard-earned, must not be wasted by a counterfeit. How could he overlook the operational processes of the company? Was it merely a misunderstanding or a partnership in fraud? Either way, as the ambassador and spokesperson, O'Leary is liable to a great extent for the loss that the company incurred to the stakeholders. We will love to hear our viewers take in the comments section. Stay tuned for more eye-opening instances. Till then, happy YouTubing.
It was our pleasure to spend some time with you. Thank you for watching the WTH channel. Let us know what you think of this video in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe for more content.